Hi, I have a review for Creature Commandos, the latest DC Universe animated show from James Gunn. And this is the first one out of the gate before Superman comes out this July. And I wanted to review this. This is an animated series, 7 episodes, I believe. And we have a bunch of characters that are not too dissimilar from what you would see from a Suicide Squad movie, especially his movie that he did of the Suicide Squad. And it has elements also of Guardians of the Galaxy, which he also did for Marvel. And I really, really dug this show. It is an excellent animated series. On paper, the show's premise seems absolutely ridiculous, and you would think that it wouldn't work. But James Gunn somehow manages to make it all fit into one cohesive whole. The characters of Creature Commandos are the most unlikely heroes that you'd ever recruit for a mission to save a princess in Eastern Europe, but they're actually pretty well realized and very three-dimensional. And they got their issues, but they managed to pull it all together to create a really cool team. The cast of characters that comprise the Creature Commandos are Rick Flag Sr., who is the leader, and you've seen his son in The Suicide Squad. Well, here's his dad, and he's pretty good with guns, and yeah, he's the boss. He's kind of like the Nick Fury of the unit. We have Bride of Frankenstein. She's a pretty cool character. I think she's my personal favorite. She has a lot of great scenes, and she's brutal. She's a pretty good fighter. We have Eric Frankenstein. Again, a lot of the monster themes in this show are prevalent, and it's really good how they make use of that. So Eric Frankenstein, he's really good, voiced by David Harbour from Stranger Things. We have Nina Mazuki. She's pretty cool. She's like an aquatic creature, can go underwater, sort of like a fish humanoid being. GI Robot, who apparently fought in World War II and likes killing Nazis. Really funny character. We got Dr. Phosphorus. He can melt people with his powers. And Weasel, who, again, you saw in The Suicide Squad, and he's given a lot more backstory. And yeah, he's not what you think he is. The squad is pretty funny, and the overall story I think is good. But what I was really impressed were the individual stories, because that's how the episodes are done. Each episode chronicles the life of one of the Creature Commandos and their origin story. And I thought all their origin stories were really well written, tragic, funny, and yeah, just dripping with that James Gunn style humor that for me works. Some would argue that it's the same thing that James Gunn has been doing with creating zany characters, crude, immature humor, and putting it out and calling it a day, and also dealing with a team of characters. I think that's a little reductive. I definitely think that he's doing something different. I like the monster theme that these characters have. And yeah, yeah, it is similar to Suicide Squad. It is similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, but for me, I don't know. I just really dig his way of writing characters for comic book uh, shows and movies, and I just really think he's done a great job here. I mean, he did a great job with Suicide Squad. Obviously, he got introduced to this world with Guardians of the Galaxy and did a great job there. And, Peacemaker's funny as hell. And I love that about him and, the humor that he puts into his characters. And also the music. The music in Creature Commandos is diverse and there's a lot of great tunes in there. And he knows when to place it and when not to place it. And it all, yeah, I like the music in this show. And, yeah, especially the opening theme to the show. It's like the best opening theme to an animated show ever. It has this cool like gypsy kind of uh theme to it, and it's good. Another thing I wasn't surprised by was the animation. Warner Brothers animated properties have done exceedingly well with animation, especially with DC. Most of the animated movies for DC have been excellent, and the pedigree is there. And this show, Creature Commandos, is just another example of that. Animation is awesome. It's crisp, clean, and yeah, it took a lot of artists to make this, and it shows. It's an amazing looking show, and yeah, like I said, the music is great. The characters are just well done. You have an episode that deals with Weasel that is probably the most tragic thing you ever seen on television, and it's about a humanoid looking weasel. And yeah, his story is just tragic. You feel bad for the guy. And then you have Eric Frankenstein, and his origin story is funny and hilarious, and he has some really funny lines uh, in the show that I was like laughing my ass off. And yeah, GI Robot's origin was pretty good. You get to see him in World War II killing Nazis, and that was also really good. And he's given an episode all to himself. And yeah, another great character that hopefully we get to see more of. Hopefully, we see these characters in live action soon in the greater DC universe. I would love to see that. And with that, with my overall thoughts in this review, I will give Creature Commandos an 8.9 out of 10. 8.9 out of 10. I think the overall story is a little, uh, it's not as good as I would hope it to be, but the individual stories of the Creature Commandos are my favorite part of this show, and that's what made it work for me. And just their banter and everything, it was a great show. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.